Good morning to all and welcome to the ST Group Business and Lifestyle Dataset Showcase. We are very excited to be your virtual hosts this morning and look forward to a session in which we can highlight to you some of the incredible new spatial data layers that we have available through the valued partnerships that we share with a number of different data vendors. The level of granularity achieved in capturing this kind of information and data for not only South Africa but across the whole of the African continent is undeniably invaluable to the continent's burgeoning markets and economies, as well as to any sort of business that wishes to thrive within such a competitive environment. A quick note before we do kick off with proceedings: for anyone from the attending companies who might have been unable to attend today's session, we will be recording the showcase and making it available for you to download, share, and view at a later stage. As such, because we are recording, may I please ask for any questions that you might have around what you see today to please be kept until the Q&A platform that is scheduled for the end of today's showcase. So, to start off our session today, I'd like to go through the order of events for this showcase. We will have an introductory word from our CEO, Alan Ellis. From there, I will guide you all through a showcase of some of our existing data sets, as well as to introduce you all to the new flashy bells and whistles in spatial data, specific to South Africa as well as the rest of the African continent. Then it's all good and well having access to such valuable insights, but how do we actually use them? How do we implement them? And that's where I plan to then highlight ways in which these various data sets can provide your next steps to business growth and decision-making surety. It's through the combination of such insightful layers that any sort of user is truly able to create some very informative analyses, no matter what the business application at hand might be. So without further ado, let me hand over to Alan to provide an introduction to today's showcase. The ability to provide the most appropriate goods and services to a selected market requires the clearest and most precise understanding towards that market's lifestyle, their characteristics, and their immediate infrastructural surroundings. Performing this quickly and with ease can certainly be the difference between leading a successful initiative or catching up to one. We take great pride in the ability of our data vendors to consistently provide us with, at the very least, annual updates of each and every data set that you will see on offer today. With that said, let us dive into some of the latest and most to-the-point data sets that we have on offer according to our various data partners. First up, we have a selection of lifestyle and retail-based data layers supplied from Market Decisions, who have for many years provided a validated view into the position of consumers within both the retail and non-retail based space. The census squared demographic set serves as one of our flagship layers in which to get many of our clients quickly up and running within the processes of spatial analysis. The census squared dataset provides fantastic insights into both household as well as individual population profiles that make up the whole of South Africa. Built to a subplace level, the census squared dataset has been compiled in conjunction with annual Stats SA releases in order to ensure that all users have access to the very latest insights into the ways in which various South African communities live. Fields within the dataset include the segmentation of age, race, level of education, household income, access to various amenities, and more, all being available to its users. All of this makes it an immediate tool in the ability for us to quickly and easily identify different target markets, as well as the temporal growth and decline of income and standards of living. Now, by overlaying one's own business assets, such as customer points or store locations. And if we overlay these into a single view alongside the census square dataset, users can quickly and easily gain immediate insights into the lifestyle and potential consumer behavior that their current business network is interacting with. Household size, prominent types of residential dwellings, levels of education, these are all important factors to consider when trying to establish your target market. The Shopping Centre Directory was first released in 1993 by the South African Council for Shopping Centres, and it hosted a mere 137 centres countrywide. At the time, it was only centres that were greater than 10,000 square meters that were listed. The latest edition, the Shopping Centre Directory of 2020, has grown and boasts an impressive 2,273 shopping centres, which lists all centres greater than 2,000 square meters. The information collected and listed for each centre in the Shopping Centre Directory includes the following: a shopping centre classification, both according to market decisions as well as the Shop Centre Council, a gross leasable area for each centre, centre management, leasing and marketing contact details, an annual foot count where available, the total number of shops per centre, parking information, and anchor tenants. Alongside the existing centre directory, each release is also paired with a points layer that showcases potential new centres that have been passed for development, as well as any removed centres that may have been closed down since the previous release. All of this making the Shopping Centre Directory an incredibly powerful tool in the temporal analysis of retail spaces across South Africa. Up next, we have AfricaScope. Over the last 20 years, we have seen AfricaScope develop many innovative datasets, whether it's demographic estimates across Africa, LSM indicators, or even delving into the mindset and financial access of a specific market. Their data has always sought to provide an extremely in-depth understanding of various African markets. One of the more recent releases from AfricaScope that is certainly gaining a lot of attention and traction is the South African Township Atlas. For many years, we've known that large amounts of data around these kind of informal communities has always existed, but the ability to provide it from a single source or with greater spatial accuracy has always managed to put the findings in jeopardy. Now, by accurately mapping and surveying South Africa's township and local economies, AfricaScope has finally been able to provide a calculated view and approach to what is an often overlooked yet so integral part of South Africa's population. AfricaScope has implemented the use of door-to-door surveys as well as small area estimation techniques in order to capture over 300 different townships across South Africa. The data is then updated on an annual basis, ensuring the most relevant and accurate responses can be calculated with surety. At the forefront of their entire data collection objective within this project was the ability to provide a greater understanding into the supply, demand, accessibility, and consumption characteristics that make up these township spaces. The demographics that form part of the base atlas are built at an EA level and cover population, household size and total household numbers, gender counts, racial segmentation, age segmentation, segments according to generation, as well as an LSM breakdown. Paired with the polygon-based demographic data is the SA crime stats layer, which showcases over 24 different categories of crime across South Africa according to incidents reported per police station boundary. Further to the above layers, the standard township atlas also includes the following point layers. We have health points per township, being clinics and hospitals, whether regional or private. Schools per township, providing you with the name, sector and phase of each school. Sports facilities per township, be it a stadium or a soccer field associated to a certain school. Government points, which includes your home affairs offices, social grants offices, post offices, police stations, and magistrate courts. Transport points, such as your major taxi ranks and common routes between them, as well as your bus stations and routes and train stations as well. And lastly, they have also managed to capture all shop malls or major grocery retailers that fall within a township boundary. On top of this, the informal retailer points form part of the advanced atlas and contains over 74,000 points covering the 300 different townships across South Africa. Each point showcases ownership details such as name and nationality of the store owner, store environment factors such as do they have road accessibility, what are their trading practices on premise, off premise, do they have access to a fridge or freezer, the aligned retail channel that they fall under, as well as the subplace they can be found in and an accurate X and Y coordinate description. These channels have been categorized according to an organized, indirect, convenience, and entertainment section. And within each of these, or across each of these sections, you will find over 30,000 spaza or house shop points, over 4,000 tabletop hawkers, close to 6,000 shebeens and taverns, over 11,000 fast food or takeaway sites, and over 13,000 specialized points that are made up of salons, bakeries, and butchers. All of this collectively providing an incredibly powerful route to market tool for any business looking to excel their goods or services and expanding their brand. Data for Africa. Updated annually using small area estimation techniques, the African data layers supplied by Africascope have been built around the ability to deliver key insights into age profiles, family and occupational statistics, structural figures, and more, assisting both the public and private sectors in processes ranging from demand forecasting, service provision, and market research. The demographic estimates layer, which you can currently see on your screen, provides the most detailed view possible into the age and population profiles for any given country across Africa. It provides a calculated and insightful approach to channeling your products and services to the right people and in the most meaningful and understanding manner. Further to this, Africascope also provides vector-based layers that focus upon the following business and lifestyle aspects across the African continent. The Africa Investment Potential Dataset. At a country level, the AIP focuses on aspects of business, society, economy, and politics. We have access to finance, census data, government services, health, income and employment statistics, shop centers, wealth, and much more. Clearly, a go-to source of information when it comes to Africa's geopolitical landscape. The next line of datasets that I will be covering are captured by a company called GTI, GeoTerra Image, specializing in the provision of high-value, up-to-date information and decision support services and solutions to all their partners and clients. The Advanced Population Dataset focuses upon the daily inward and outward migration of both the formal and informal workforce, non-working and learner populations across South Africa at an EA level. The Advanced Population Dataset provides incredibly valuable insights into the daily movement patterns found across both your urban and rural regions within South Africa, allowing its users to better understand these areas of high and low daily population density, which equates to the ability for us to actually fish where the fish are. The Neighborhood Lifestyle Index is another EA level dataset, and it provides a look into the dominant age, race, language, land use, level of education, and other socio-economic factors across the entire country. With this, is paired the NLI scoring chart, which is then used as a further guide, scoring from 1 to 10, in enabling us to establish the difference in enumeration areas through the use of an income-based indicator as well as various lifestyle characteristics. Lastly, we have the credit consumer dataset. Also at an EA level, the credit consumer dataset consists of information on the spending behavior of South Africa. Gain insights into the average individual opening, current and monthly balances for retail accounts, credit card accounts, furniture stores, personal loans, mortgage bonds, vehicle finance, insurance, as well as telecoms contract accounts, firmly establishing GTI as one of the leaders in bespoke spatial data. Lastly, we have Mapit, a subdivision of the GeoInt group and a long-time partner of ours, offering enterprise location insights to co-create solutions with all of their customers and partners. With over 20 years of experience within the spatial data community, Mapit have been delivering the most comprehensive map and traffic insights to the market for some time. The Quality Spatial Platform Dataset. The QSP dataset has long been considered as one of the premium vector datasets of not only South Africa, but for the rest of the continent as well. It is an extremely comprehensive geographic map base, encompassing a national atlas and data for both metropolitan and rural areas, and is updated at a biannual rate. You can expect a collection of layers such as suburbs, streets, cities, points of interest, municipal boundaries, smaller towns and places, land use, and so the list of point, line, and polygon layers continues. The following is an example of how the points of interest within the Kenya QSP dataset, in conjunction with our in-house site marker application, allowed for us to reduce a client's operation costs by more than 25% by simply mapping out all existing ATMs across Nairobi and focusing upon better route optimization from site to site as they needed to be serviced. In the end, we managed to reduce the total travel distance from 88 kilometers to 41 kilometers and cut the travel time in half from 2 hours to 1. In conjunction with the Bravies Business Directory, we have the Biz Indicator dataset, which provides valuable insights into over 200,000 different businesses across the whole of South Africa. And this includes names and contact details, address data, accurate geo-coordinates, website and email contact details, a staff or business headcount, as well as SIC industry categorizations. In the following instance, we can see how the Biz Indicator points layer has been utilized in order to further guide a telecom client's fiber rollout plans by focusing upon and prioritizing the highest available staff headcounts of existing businesses within their immediate area of planned expansion and already connected buildings. The Points of Interest dataset is a definitive source for commercial, landmark, and recreational destinations and hubs in Africa. The POI is a dataset of geographic and commercial features that highlight location and function information. Categories within the POI layer include shops, companies, office parks, residential estates and complexes, ATMs, accommodation fields such as hotels, motels, and B&Bs, and a whole lot more. That brings to a close our focus upon the latest data layers available. As a conclusion to our session, I felt it would be pertinent for me to showcase to you just how powerful all of this information becomes when it is used in a combined and holistic sort of manner. For this demonstration into the strengths and purposes of a temporal analysis into business and lifestyle, I thought I would focus upon an area of South Africa that has undergone drastic developmental and subsequent lifestyle changes over recent years, the Tongaat region of Durban North. This stretch of KZN territory between Umhlanga and Ballito has experienced immense development within property, retail spaces, and as a result, much needed job creation. When analyzing such an instance, one needs to be well aware of how to utilize available data in the most meaningful of ways. Does your business focus need to be purely administrative or lifestyle based? Because so often we find that the real trends and patterns can actually lie between these two aspects of society and how they are constantly interacting in these flows of increase and decrease. With access to numerous years of data, as our new 3-year term license on applications and data would provide, what this does is it allows users to see these changes in demographics or development and infrastructure occur over time, and with a clear indication of an increase in the total number of households that have been developed across this northern KZN strip of Umhlanga through to Ballito and Salt Rock, we need to ask of ourselves, as an ambitious business, what has this potentially affected within our given market? How has this come about? Who's already there? How do we use this information going forward? Using census squared, we can see the total number of households counted under the annual income category increase over time. This is an indication of formal and informal residences actively being developed within the region. Now, on the one hand, I believe that this is being driven by reasonable property prices and possibly the view of a more relaxed lifestyle for the upper middle class, seeing many families from your Johannesburgs and Pretorias and other mainland major cities now crossing over to the Natal coast and building homes within your residential estates such as Zimbali, Simbiti, and others. On the other hand and scale of the market, this is also a very positive indication of further low-cost housing development, which has largely taken place within areas such as Valdin, Belvedere Heights, and surrounds. With this increase in residential development, we have now seen an increase in the total number of businesses that are opening in the region too. Biz Indicator, over the space between 2017 to 2019, increased by over 340 business points over those 3 years, with the major proportion of that increase being seen through restaurants and tea rooms, textile traders, estate agencies, and, in line with our development in households, a trade in construction. Within the points of interest layer provided by Mapit, there was an increase of over 1,000 new residential complexes, 375 clothing shops, 10 new supermarkets, 7 new places of worship, 20 new fast food outlets alone opened within the space of 6 months. Whilst I do understand this does not strictly translate to all of these points being new businesses, as some may have existed previously before being added to these catalogs, there is still so much activity for us as a business to be aware of. The subplace of La Mercy, which is home to the King Shaka International Airport, sees over 8,000 formal workers migrate into its boundaries every day. Umhlanga Ridge and Phoenix Industrial are the next subplaces that see 20,000 and 10,000 workers enter its borders on a daily basis, respectively. The largest influx of workers is completed by the subplaces of Somerset Park, Verulam, Starwood, and Mount Edgecombe. On the opposite scale of migration, we see areas such as Caneside, Trennans Park, and Mawoti see the largest numbers of workers leaving their home territories on a daily basis in order to go and work elsewhere. Now, when we start to refine our focus upon the Tongaat region to an even smaller scale, for example, the very busy stretch of development that's occurring between Zimbali Estate and Sheffield Beach, with popular estates such as Simbiti, the numbers, trends, and patterns become even more apparent. Within this area of roughly 80 square kilometers, I was able to establish that there are over 28 different residential estates, over 9 different schools, largely of which were private, over 70 different clothing stores, 50 real estate agency offices, over 50 different guest houses, over 35 fast food outlets, 25 personal care facilities, over 15 security-based companies. There's also 6 cleaning service companies, 11 dentists, and over 14 places of worship. Within this small area of analysis, I also managed to find 6 different shopping centers that collectively contained over 140,000 square meters of gross leasable area, one of which happened to be the Ballito Junction, which sees over 11,300,000 people within the space of a year spend their hard-earned money across its 200 different stores, which includes anchor tenants such as Woolworths, Pick n Pay, Edgar's, Game, and Mr. Price. This 80 kilometer squares region is also made up of over 40,000 individuals, which collectively form part of an average monthly household income of around 35,000 Rand. It sees 7,000 formal workers largely migrating on a daily basis outwards back towards the main hub of Durban Central. Now, what I hope this manages to portray to you today is that we have data, rich, meaningful business and lifestyle data, and we have a whole lot of it too. And when it's used in such a combined manner and it's intertwined with your own business data of customer points and site locations, the pictures that are created in an analytical sense start to speak for themselves. And it is also just so important for me to stress that should you have some form of data in mind that may not have been covered today, please do still reach out to us, as there's a very strong chance we have the resources available to get that data to you. I hope that this showcase has proven successful in our ability to get you the information that your business wants and needs. I would like to now open the session to any questions that you might have around the data you have seen today, or even perhaps data that you might have wanted to see today. All questions are warmly welcomed, and I will do my utmost to provide a detailed response. From our side, from everyone here at the ST Group, we would like to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. Exploring data is something that we will always love to do, and these showcases, these webinars, it gives us the utmost pleasure to do that with you at our side. As you can see on your current screen, should you have any further additional queries or requests that you would like to reach out to us after this session, please do make a note of my email address there. We would love to hear from you. From my side, thank you very much.